Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the 1893 show. As you can see, I'm back home in Newcastle right now outside St James's Park. But Alex has taken the trip down to Wembley to watch Luton take on Cov. As per last time, I'm going to give a pre-match prediction and I'm going to go for 1-0 Coventry to win on penalties.
Right now, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the 1893 show. You might be thinking, hang on a minute, Jules aren't playing today. No, they're not. We're off to the playoff final at Wembley Stadium, Luton versus Coventry. Massive game, massive stories behind both clubs. Really thankful to have got a ticket and really excited for the day. Going to be taking you with me all the way from sunny Kent up to London to watch the game. I'm going to be meeting my friend up there who's a Luton fan called Tom, and he's hopefully going to come on and give his thoughts as well. He also does vlogs, so I'll leave his links down in the description below. This wind done absolute havoc with my hair. Don't have long curly hair in the wind. But no, I also wanted to come on and give you guys a little bit of an announcement that me and Beth, we haven't booked our tickets yet, but we will be going to Italy to watch Jules play Como, I think is how you probably pronounce it, in July. Should be booking our tickets and flights tomorrow, so really excited for that. We're going to also do a lot while we're there. Might record most of it, might record some of it, but you're going to take in you on the Jules European tour. If I sound a bit weird today, I've got a banging toothache, so I've got some food. Beth's going to be happy because we've got the Oasis as well. It's a painkillers thing, which should help out with that. But obviously I'm going to give you my pre-match thoughts. Huge game, having watched both of the playoff semi-finals and also watched both teams a couple of times this season. Should be an extremely good game. I think whoever wins this game deserves to go up. The stories behind both clubs are huge. Both clubs obviously being in League Two not too long ago. This video is going to come up before, but me and Beth filmed some reaction videos, and you see that Jules actually played Luton all the way down there as well. So huge day for both sets of fans, huge days for both clubs, and whoever goes up ultimately deserves it. Obviously, being in the Luton end today, I'm going to be rooting for Luton. I want Luton to go up, but if Coventry go up, I'm not going to be too disappointed, thankfully. But we're going to be taking you all the way. I'm literally next to the train station. I'm going to eat my food, go and get my tickets, and jump on the train. Record my travel there, guys, and also I'm going to be getting involved with the Luton fans. Hopefully, get a few of them to come on, a few videos from the day, and hopefully have a good day out. It's lovely weather for it. My first ever trip to Wembley Stadium as well. Let us know in the comments what you guys think is going to happen in the game. We're going to have some pre-match thoughts from Beth. If you watched it, we're going to get some post-match thoughts as well. And as always, guys, I will see you when I next see you, which will probably be when I get off the train in London. Right then, scram down. One Oasis down, one for the travels. Currently walking around to the train station. I'm not going to say from where, because I'm going to tell you look where I live, but walking around to the train station, go and pick up the tickets. Got about half an hour to the train. Let's get it done. Right then, guys, you might be able to hear it. We have arrived at Wembley. Train is absolutely packed. Also, right now, putting on control, sat across from the right on the tube. Didn't have the balls to TNs in because he had trains on. I couldn't quite tell. But I just got through the walk down this way. Head to the Luton fans area and get involved in it before it came away. based on the fact that I went at Coventry, so in the next segment when I'm home, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will give you the full post-match thoughts. Before I get home, I think just to sort some up, overall, we're definitely the better team to win the game. Coventry had the chances, but they were nowhere near the level Luton were providing, in my opinion. I think Luton bossed the game for the most part, had the ball in like 4 times in the end. And heartbreaking Coventry, and it was a cool way to do it, but fair play to Luton, getting the job done on penalties. Perfect penalties up until the last time as well. It's heartbreaking for Coventry, of course, but fair play to Luton. Of course, also make the league next season. See you all going home.
Okay, so it's the next day. We are back together again to discuss our post-match thoughts on the Coventry-Luton game. It went all the way. Alex, you were there. What was the atmosphere like?
I mean, it was like nothing I'd ever experienced before, to be fair. Obviously, I was at Old Trafford on Thursday, which is quite a special atmosphere in itself, right? But there's something about Wembley, it's just incredible. It was a bit on the balance of the game kind of thing, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So I'll give Coventry their due. When they were singing, it was like, again, nothing you'd ever heard before in your life. Same with Luton, but I guess I didn't feel it as much as I was sat inside it. But you could feel the nerves. The longer it went on, you could feel the nerves, especially the people around me. The bloke behind me was like a 17-year season ticket holder at Luton, was in tears when it went to penalties, was in tears when they missed a penalty. It was incredible.
So 90 minutes, I thought it was a match of 2 halves. First half, Luton dominated. Second half, Coventry came out looking a different side, I thought. So I feel like going into the extra time, it was hard for me, I suppose, watching it at home to gauge who was going to nick it. Did you kind of get the same vibe being there?
Yeah, first half was definitely all Luton, and they should have killed the game off. I mean, I think in the end they had the ball in the back of the net, 4 times? So for me, they deserved to win. But on the balance of that second half, I honestly believed that Coventry were going to nick it. Penalties is a cruel mistress for anyone, right? But Luton deserved to win, in my opinion. But I wouldn't have been shocked should Coventry have scored sort of in the last minutes or in extra time, of course. But that first half from Luton was incredible. The only downfall they had is that they didn't put the ball in the back of the net. Well, they did, but they didn't count. The first goal, though, was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I feel Luton definitely did make it hard work for themselves in a way. You know, they got the win. I think it was the 115th minute. Joe Taylor had the ball in the back of the net. It's chalked out from a handball, which is a weird one because had he squared it to Carlton Morris and Carlton Morris scored the goal probably would have stood. So yeah, they did make it hard work for themselves, and what a display of penalties. I know you said penalties is a cruel mistress, but those first, is it 10 or 11 penalties? Yeah, 11 it would have been. Keepers had no chance for any of them, I didn't think.
No, they was all perfect penalties. But you got a sense in the ground. Now, that none of us around me said it when he was walking up to it, but you got the sense that he was going to miss that penalty.
Yeah,
there was something nervous about it.
He looked nervous.
In the walk up, even when he like stepped back for his run up, I was thinking he's going to miss this, he's going to put it over. And alas, he did, and cue absolute pandemonium across the whole of Luton, probably. But you see the scenes after, and I've seen some pretty horrific scenes on Twitter from people that like to call themselves Coventry fans, but you're not if you're going to abuse your own player like that. It's part and parcel of the penalties. We see it all the time. People react on Twitter. It's okay to have a reaction, but it's never okay to be discriminatory because of what happens. It's part and parcel of football. We've all done it. Mm-hmm. No matter what level you played at, we've all put the penalty over, even if it's just a kick about with your lads. So at the end of the day, it's a disappointing end to the season for Coventry, but their story still goes on,
For
and
sure.
that's not the end for them, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think, what is it? After their first 10 games, they had 7 points or something like that this season. So to go on and to make the playoff finals after that start is incredible. And I think the same for kind of Luton, right? Just their entire story coming from, the National League now all the way up to the Premier League is absolutely incredible. Watford fans are probably feeling a bit salty off the back of it, but
Just a bit.
it's great, and it just shows what the EFL has to offer, right? It's not Luton or Coventry, either one of the two would have been a new face in the Premier League for me, at least anyway. I don't know if I think Coventry were in the Premier League.
Coventry have been, yeah.
Yeah, not in my time of following football anyway. But yeah, I think it's incredible, and like I say, it shows what the EFL has to offer. And what do you think Luton will do in the Premier League off the back of this win?
You know what? I don't think they actually care, to be honest. A lot of their fans were like, they don't care. They can come straight back down. They've done it. They've made it. That story, so to speak, is now complete. It's on to the next story now about what they do with the money that obviously comes from this game. It obviously pretty much funds their new stadium. What it does for the football club is it makes it sustainable, which is all any football fan wants at the end of the day. So I don't see them doing much in the Premier League. I see them probably coming straight back down. This is probably going to be clips, and when they're like 8th or something, people are going to start saying stuff to me. But ultimately, they're just there for the journey. I think if we look at it from, let's say, our perspective, if Jules were ever to make it that far and make it into the Premier League, I think you wouldn't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if we went out there and got battered 7-0 every week, it'd still be there, and it'd be like your dream holiday. All your Christmases have come at once, to quote Andy Hess. You know what I mean? So I think, based off the two clubs, if I was going to pick anyone to have stayed up, it would have been Coventry. If they would have gone up, I think they would have had more chance. But I don't see much past them coming straight back down, having a pretty bad season, to be honest. What about you?
I did make a bold claim in a group chat that I think Luton could potentially break Derby's record for least points gained in a season. But I'm also aware of the great recruitment that Luton do have. They are kind of like a Brentford or Brighton type thing. And with 100 million, obviously that's how much you get for being in the Prem anyway. Never mind how much they may invest into that as well. I reckon they've got the potential to find a couple of gems and maybe do enough to keep them up. But who knows, like you say, maybe the money will go towards the new stadium and keeping the club sustainable rather than keeping them in the Premier League.
Yeah, and I think what I'm going to like to see from Luton is not mass change in their squad. I think a lot of teams, like you look at Forest this season, for example, they've stayed up, but they also signed like 15 players.
Yeah, I think
to me,
those players that have gone up with Luton deserve to represent Luton in the Premier League next season.
100%. But I mean, the story for me made that game, both sides. Either side that would have went up, I think I said it before the game, either side that goes up, the story's incredible. But I just feel that this is now the end of that story, and Luton are just going to be one of those clubs that are just sustaining kind of thing, which is disappointing. I've got a few friends that are Coventry fans, and I know they're absolutely heartbroken.
Yeah.
But what's important for them now is to try and keep that group together. I think their striker, I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name, he's going to play in the Premier League without doubt. He was by far and away one of the best players on the pitch yesterday.
Yeah. I saw a stat actually that was like him and the Coventry goal scorer, again, I don't know how to pronounce his name either.
Gustavo Hamer.
Yeah, him. Between the two of them, I think Coventry have only scored 12 goals that weren't scored or assisted by that pair. So it'd be interesting to see, if they do manage to keep them on, and if they don't, who they bring in instead, right, to replace that, because those are some big numbers, right?
Yeah, but they will get a very hefty price tag. Maybe not for Gustavo Hamer. I don't know too much about him. I could be speaking about a 22-year-old here that's absolutely like the world on fire. I don't know who he is. But I'm going to call him Victor. That's definitely his first name, right?
It is, yeah.
We'll call him Victor. He is going to fetch a pretty hefty fee. I'm talking upwards of sort of 40, 50 mil, without question, from a Premier League club, probably someone like Everton, let's be honest. And if you look at it from that perspective, well, even if they don't stay up, I think they'd still be in for him, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So they have a lot of money there to rebuild with and make the squad better. I think what we saw in that game was the subs that came on for Luton changed the game for them. The subs that came on for Coventry probably hindered them quite a bit. If you look at Panzo, for example, if that ball hadn't struck the hand, we wouldn't have even had penalties. And that's from a mistake from someone that's come on. So they definitely need to get a bit more strength and depth, which, although, it's disappointing now and they're going to lick their wounds for a while, they've got a lot to look forward to. And they'll be sad when he leaves, but the money that comes from it will change the club.
For sure. I mean, a great end to the season. It was nice as a neutral to see it go, obviously, all the way to penalties. I feel like that's kind of what you want as someone who's not supporting either team. If it was Gilles in that position, couldn't think of anything worse. But yeah, on to the next season. Congratulations to Luton and commiserations, obviously, to Coventry. And yeah, I think that's our last match day until something very special in July.
Which I've already mentioned in this video. So, maybe have to rush the announcement for that one, but we won't talk about it. But yeah, on to watching the next two player finals from afar and on to bigger and better things on a special trip that we won't talk about.
Exactly. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and as always, out the Gilles.
Out the Gilles.